Just started recording, so let's go through the warm-up. I mean, the first two exercises, your femoral wall slides and rock back breathing, are the same. Did you want to touch over any of those? Do you have any questions before I move on?
You know what I want to know is the inverted rollback breathing palms down. What is that aimed at? Because I do it and I'm like, I don't know what I'm targeting.
What we're trying to do is create expansion in your backside and even your upper chest. So now I would have my knees on a pad to get a little bit more inverted. But when I'm here and I'm breathing, I'm trying to fill up this spot in through the nose, getting expansion, and then when I breathe out, all of that air comes out and I'm trying to flex my abs, and I just breathe against it again. So you basically try to stretch from the inside out.
Okay.
All right. So then you have a foot elevated single leg hip bridge with a kettlebell pullover. So let me I'm gonna grab a plate instead of a kettlebell just for time's sake, but same idea. You're gonna do with your foot on top of a box. Kettlebell will be in front of you, or right above you, I'm sorry. You're gonna do a bridge. You're gonna hold it up there, bring your kettlebell overhead, bring it back, then hips down. Up and reach back and forth. You can do all one side, all the other. So that is your first one. Your next one is a bear crawl position to pike with a toe reach. I do like to use the wall if you can. So I'm gonna move this slightly over this side so you can see it. Move these out of the way. All right, but your feet are gonna go against the wall. You do a bear crawl, pike up. Now you've done that before, but then you're gonna reach towards your opposite toe and then back down. Bear crawl to pike, reach towards the opposite toe and back. And you would just alternate side to side, but keeping your feet pressed into the wall.
Okay.
That's the other new one. The next new one is a single leg RDL with a contra reach. So back to the wall again. I'm gonna put one foot on top. Whatever leg's in front, opposite hand is gonna be the one that reaches towards. I'm gonna hinge into my hip. I'm gonna reach past that leg and pull through. Hinge to the hip, reach past the leg and pull through. I'm gonna show you from the side just so you get an idea. But if my foot was on the wall, I'm gonna hinge, I'm gonna reach towards that leg and then back. I'm pushing that up leg into the wall the whole time. That's 5 each side. And then you have lateral walking good mornings. I do want a band right above your knees. But what you're gonna do is step and hinge, and then step together. And to be traveling, step and hinge, step together. You do all one side, and then still having a band on the knees, you're gonna step and hinge and make your way back. So just make sure the leg that you step with, all your weight's on it, load it up, and you drive through the ground to bring yourself together. All right, so that's the warm up. Everything good with that one?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So then we're going into kneeling stability ball rollouts, some rack walks, and excuse me, let me grab a ball. I know you said you have a stability ball. So
Yes, I do.
I do like this one for good core exercise. So, nice and tall, hands on the ball. You're gonna roll out onto your forearms and then roll back. Just make sure your butt can stay behind you and you don't arch into your back. You wanna just keep this locked down, keep it tight, and then just roll forward into that plank position and then roll back. So that is that one. Your bottoms up kettlebell rack walk. Well, I guess I should have got a kettlebell earlier. Show you. Let me grab a kettlebell. And this doesn't have to be a pretty heavy kettlebell because it's gonna be upside down while you're carrying it. So what you do is take the kettlebell, hold it upside down so the bell's up and you're holding the handle. You gotta grip it nice and tight. Palms even with my chin and right in front of my shoulder. And then you would just do your walk. Generally it's about 20 yards. When in the gym, it's just the one length of the gym. If you don't have time, it's about 20 seconds for a walk, somewhere around there. Just make sure you grip it tight. You have yardage, you said?
I haven't measured out.
Oh, awesome, perfect. Well, just make sure when you're doing that walk for the 20 yards, then you have to grip this tight. If you lose any grip, it'll fall. So super tight.
Smashed in the face.
Yes, don't do that. All right, that's the rack walk. The next one is an iso split squat, super band lift. And I kind of wrote a note saying inside leg forward, and then you're gonna inhale as you lift. So this one's a little tricky. Look at that. Inside leg forward. Well, I'm gonna grab a light band. I still can't believe Vincent broke that other band. That's insane.
You know, he says he just pulled it down. I think he actually sat in it like a swing.
I think you're right. Because you can't. We've done jumps with that, not even that way.
Yeah.
All right, so inside leg is forward, so the leg that's closest to the wall. You're gonna lower down into a split shot without touching knee on the ground. She's gonna stay there. I'm gonna mix my grip, so I got palm down, palm up, outside arm is up. If you wanna just do both palms down, that's fine. It just feels better doing a mix. But you're gonna breathe in as you lift up, and breathe out as you go down. Breathe in, breathe out. You do all one side. You're gonna switch, remember inside leg forward, outside leg behind, and then breathe in, breathe out. That's your lift.
Okay.
And then you have kettlebell RDL, tuned dumbbells or kettlebells optional. It's your choice. Just like you were doing last time, I did lower your reps though. So
Okay.
it's that 8 reps. I want you to go a little heavier. I mean, this would be way too light, but it's that same hinging motion. You're not touching the ground. You're just going to hinge where your hands just past your knees and then pull through. It's all about the booty. Single arm kettlebell floor press you've done before, but just as a quick reminder, just make sure the leg that's up is the side the kettlebell's on. The other leg's nice and straight. And then you're going to press. And pay attention to your wrist here. A lot of people let it arch. And you're going to compromise your shoulder position. Make sure that wrist is nice and neutral, nice and straight. And then do your press. But again, it's on the up leg side. And then a dynamic wall knee drive. This one's fun. I'm going to actually move you so you can see it a little bit better. Yeah. All right, so you need a wall in front of you. You know, we used to have like your hands on the wall. We do it like a light knee drive. What you're going to do is hands off the wall. You take the same leg, and now you're going to really almost kind of kick the wall and back. So there's a little bend in the knee. You want to make sure even when you drive up, you're not shredding that knee out. There's a little bend still, but just big explosive kick and back down. You like to get that opposite arm motion and kind of help drive it. But it should be nice and explosive compared to what we used to do. And that's it for that one. Next circuit is an Ipsy rack split squat with wall heel core engagement. So even if you notice, you got a lot of wall stuff. We're just trying to create some stability. So Ipsy means same side. We put one foot pushing into the wall. My toes are still on the ground. Whatever leg's in front, that's the side the kettlebell's on in rack position. And make sure my pelvis is tucked and this back hip is turned into the front. I just don't want to be open. So turn it in. I just split squat as normal once you get that in. So again, kettlebell's on the front leg side. Pelvis is neutral and in.
What's Ipsy mean?
Same side, ipsilateral. So you have contralateral, which is opposite, and ipsilateral same. Let's see. Then you have a lateral step down with a crossover JC band chest press. So I wrote a note saying step towards the band. I'm going to grab a small step just to show you. I know you said you have some risers, right? At least at your gym, or do you have anything to step down from that's not super high?
Yeah, I got all sorts of stuff.
Okay. Band. So if you don't have the JC band, or if it's too inconvenient where you have it located, a super band works fine. I just like this because the handles.
I have those JC bands, but they don't have the thing in the middle. They're just the two with the handles.
Oh, I mean, as long as you can clip one end to the other side and hold on to this, it's fine.
Yeah, yeah. I need to get some of those hooks for my walls. So.
Oh yeah, you can get that at any hardware store. They're just carabiners.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna start on the box. The leg that's closest to the wall, so my left leg in this case. I'm gonna step towards the wall, and as I step, I'm gonna cross my body and punch the band and back up. Punch and cross. So basically this leg, this arm are in a straight line with each other going back. So I'm crossing over without turning my body, just the arm. Do from the other side just so you can see. Different angle for you. There we go. gonna step towards the band, punch and cross. Again, I'm still facing forward, but my arm crosses my body. That one's a little trickier. All right. And the last one is a half kneeling wall pressing front leg lift. And I'm gonna move this again so you can see. All right, you can see me. So hands against the wall, you're gonna push as hard as you can. Make sure the pelvis is tucked. And the front leg is just gonna lift up for a second and back down. Front leg lifts up for a second, back down. About 2-3 seconds. Just make sure you're driving hard into the wall, just so you can see what I was doing. So when I'm pressing here, front leg is just gonna be picking up and back down. That's it. You're gonna feel your core and your hip flexors working.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then your finisher is just a bike. If you're at the gym or anything like that. If you're not, walking lunges.
Okay.
And just kind of do them for 2 minutes straight. As soon as you're done with that, you're gonna stand on an AirX or something squishy, like a mat or something like that, fold it up. I'll show you what I'm doing. Let me grab an AirX.
I want one of those blue
Squares?
squares, right? That's an
That's exactly what I want you to use. This one. So after you do that 2 minutes of work, your legs are gonna be nice and tired. Now you have to control your balance. So what you're gonna do is balance on one leg. You're gonna step to like 4 hours or 6 hours at the clock, I'm sorry. In front, together, a little bit at an angle, together, to the side, together, a little bit at an angle, together, and behind. So all 6 of those taps count as 1 rep. And you're just gonna repeat your 6 directions on one leg. I think I gave you 5. So what I just showed you was 2 rounds. I would end up doing 3 more on that side. Then I would switch to the other side and then do the 6 taps 5 times through. And then I would take a rest. That's right after your lunges or the bike.
Okay.
All right, that's A day. Any questions?
Nope.
All right, let's move on to B day. They have supine knee drives with a JC band, anti-rotational, and banded feet. Let me grab a midi band because this one's kind of crucial to the movement. Okay. So again, you can use the same band with the handles that you have as long as you hook it up low. I'm going to use the super band down here, but basically I just want a resistance off to your side. So whatever you want to use, but a mini band, you're going to put right around the arch of your feet. You're going to lie on your back with a very slight bend in the knees. You don't want to lock them out. Little bend, that way that lower back can be tucked. The band that's hooked up off to my side, I'm going to pull to the center of my chest and I'll hold straight out from there. And I'm just going to work on driving my knee up and down without letting this hip roll off the ground. I want to keep contact to the ground with both sides of my hips. I'm just going to alternate your marches.
Can I just pause for 1 second? I've really got to grab this call.
Oh yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No worries. I'll pause.
Hello?
No worries. All good. I just paused the recording and unpause it. So
Yeah.
yeah. Let me go back to that move then just to make sure you got it down.
Okay.
So again, there's a band hooked up off to my side. My feet are banded around the arch of the feet. There's a little bend in the knees. Hold the band straight above your chest and just work on slowly marching, keeping your toes pulled toward your shins. If you point your toes, that'll fall off. But you're gonna march with those legs in one direction until you get 4 each side or 8 total with your legs. Then you're gonna spin around and face the other direction and then do 4 each leg or 8 total again. Then you move on to the next exercise.
Oh, so you're doing right, left, holding one side, and then the opposite. Okay.
Yeah, so when I was here, I would end up doing this until I get 4 each side. And then I would switch sides. Then I would end up doing 4 each side again.
Okay.
And then I would move on.
Okay.
And then your next one is called a Copenhagen side plank. So a box, a bench, even a couch or a chair will work. What we're gonna do, top leg is gonna go on a box, bottom leg is gonna go underneath. You're gonna get your normal side plank. My foot's still touching the ground initially, but then you're just gonna work on bringing that leg up, bring that leg down, bring that leg up, bring that leg. It's way harder than it looks, by the way.
Yeah.
You feel a lot in here. If it's too hard, the closer you go in the box and the more of your thigh or your leg that's on top, the easier that's gonna be. So think about just kind of moving back and forth, whatever is going to be just right for the intensity. Okay. You have valve slide, lateral lunge with the Superman chop. You have a slider, right?
Yep.
Perfect. Let me grab a slider. I'll show you what that looks like. Whew, you had a good sweat going. It always makes it harder to breathe in these masses working out. Okay, so band's up nice and high. You're gonna have the inside leg on the slider, because you're gonna slide towards the band. As you slide towards the band into that lateral lunge position, you're going to chop the band towards your pocket and then back up. So again, happen simultaneously, slide and chop, and then bring it back together. Showing from the other side so you can see. From a different angle, there we go. So as I slide, chop towards your pocket and back. Chop towards your pocket and back. So that's that one. Next one is a goblet narrow squat with yoga block core engagement. Forgetting tons of things. Grab the yoga block. Well, it's right over there for a slider. That would have been a good idea. And if you have a yoga block, by the way, Mandy?
I haven't, but I'm going to get one. I was just about to get one the other day, and I was like, the next time I need it, I'll get one.
Okay. Huh?
I usually just use the roller, like that's what I've been using as a space.
That kind of works.
Yeah.
The yoga block will probably be a little more easy to manage, but
yeah.
What you're going to do is you're going to take that thing, you're going to put it between your thighs.
Okay.
So your feet should only be hip width apart because this is pretty narrow. I don't want the wide version. I want a little narrower or even narrower. I like that position. What you're going to do is your heels on top of something like some plates to lift them up a bit. Mm-hmm. Hold the kettlebell by your chest. And then you're just going to squat as normal, down and up. But keeping the pressure on that block. Make sure you don't sit up too far with your feet because then you notice how my knees are diving in.
Okay.
So narrow with your feet, that way straight up with your legs. And then you would just be squatting down up while squeezing that block. But that is your narrow goblet squat with the heel lift. Tall kneeling cable lat pull downs. We've done this one before, but you're just gonna be kneeling down. Cable's right above you and pulling down. Do you have like any resistance that you can have above your head?
No, I would just be using bands. So okay, I have, you know, I have that arch thing. No, I have like the arch thing where you can hang off it. So what I would do is put bands on it, and then I have all sorts of strengths. So that would work.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly. So hook it up there, and then we're just gonna pull straight down, like a pull up but kneeling down. Perfect. Yeah. I thought you had a bar up there. Perfect.
Yeah. No.
And then your next one is a wall single leg foot elevated hip bridge. Turn that again a little bit. See me? Yeah. All right, foot's on the wall. You want your heel off the wall, so just the toes are pressing into the wall. And then just get a bridge up and down. Again, just my toes into the wall, up and down on one side, and then just switch up and down on the other side. That one's simple enough, but it's very effective. You should feel your calves, hamstrings, all the way into your glutes, even a little bit of your quad. That one's 8 each side. Next one's a single leg squat to box. A little tricky. And I wrote USB front loaded optional. I didn't mean to write USB, I meant to say goblet. I forgot to change it. I know you don't have a sandbag. So if you wanted to hold a kettlebell, you can. I wouldn't start there. This one's challenging. You're gonna be on one leg. Mm-hmm. You're gonna reach your arms out, take your time, squat to the box, stand all the way up. Reach your leg out, squat to the box, stand all the way up. Notice I'm sitting down on it initially where I rest all the way and come up. Once you start to feel confident, you could just tap and go. Once you're really confident, you can add the weight. If you're having a really, really, really hard time with this one, what you could do instead of letting this leg float, put the heel down on the ground in front of you and use it for a little support as you go up and down. Okay. So any of those variations will work for you. That's each side. Then you have a staggered single arm cable row plus. I'm going to show you with the band, a JC band cable, anything you have available, as long as you just have some resistance. So the leg that's back is the arm that has the resistance. So a little mini staggered stance. So just have 1 foot in front, 1 foot slightly behind. And then I have one arm in, one arm out. And then I'm just gonna row back and forth. I'm just having this little reciprocal position. I'll switch sides so you can see the free arm. This arm starts in, and as the band-aid arm rows in, the other arm reaches out. Back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
That's 8 each side. Your next one is a half kneeling single arm cable fly or band fly. Keep running cable. And then a foam roller core engagement. Let me grab a roller because I know you have a foam roller, especially because you said you were using that one.
I do. It's like the first thing that you get.
Yes. Definitely need to get those first. What you're going to do is grab your roller, and it's going to be placed on the outside of you. And you're going to kneel down. Band's hooked up to my side. With that down, I'm going to be pushing into the roller for core engagement. That's all the roller is for, is to press down into. The arm with the band, a little bit, is going to fold into the center and back. A little bend in the elbow. I don't want to lock it out, so a little bend in the elbow. Slide in and relax. Pushing into this roller to help you stay stable. That one's a really hard move, by the way.
Really?
Extremely hard, yes. It looks super easy and simple. It's extremely difficult. So again, slight bend in the elbow, and you're just flying in and out with that arm.
Okay.
Again, inside knees down, inside arm has the band, outside legs forward, outside arm has the roll. And then your finisher is just TRX rows, nothing fancy with those.
Yeah.
And then an elevated bear crawl plank with alternate super reaches. This one sounds super complicated, it's not as bad as it is. You put your forearms on here, drop your knees down so they're underneath your hips. Like a little mini bear crawl, but you're on your forearms on the box. Reach out with your palm up, back, and then switch. Back. Just try not to let your hips rock side to side. You want to keep everything still. And just alternate. And that'll happen right after your TRX rows, and then you take your break. And that's the workout.
Right.
Any questions?
Nope, not
All
yet.
right. Let me stop this then, and then I will send it to you.